All right, guys, we are trying this again. I apologize for the first time. Something happened where, like on my screen, everyone's gone, and then tried to end the stream. They were still alive, and now we're starting over. I don't know what happened. But anyway, yeah, welcome to Rob's Horror Hangout number 2. We're talking about top 10 horror remakes.
Uh,
We have Thomas Horror Fan 34 with us.
That's me.
We have Kenny and Mr. Carr Productions.
yeah, hey.
What were you gonna say, Kenny?
One thing though, you still have number one by your title here.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'll change that when I.
Yeah, he can easily change that.
I'll change that in the editing room. But yeah, it's number 2. But
All right.
but
So
yeah,
I don't have to do number 2 on the stream.
I almost took a number 2 in my pants after that happened.
Right.
I'm not used to this. You know, Alex is the one who streams all the time. I'm not used to this. So
Mhm.
anyway, so yeah, we're trying this again. Yeah, top
Shake
10.
It off. Shake it
Top
off.
10. Yeah, shake it off. Shake it off. Hoo, hoo.
Little Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift.
Oh, God. God. All right. So, yeah, top 10 horror remakes. But before we get into this, I wanted to let you guys know that our last stream that we had, we talked about our very first horror movie that we ever saw, me and Kenny. And Thomas wasn't able to make it. So we're going to take this time right now to let Thomas tell his story about his first horror movie. So, Thomas, if you want to go ahead with that.
You'll be a little surprised at what my first ever horror film that I ever watched was, and I have a really intriguing story of how I discovered the movie. And
Okay.
before I get into the story, the film that I'll be talking about is Bats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bats.
I
Okay.
really like that one.
1999. Yeah, I was 5 years old when this came out. I was in preschool at the time, and
Yeah.
so really intriguing story about this. So, of course, when I saw this on TV, I saw the PG-13 version as a kid because I wasn't allowed to watch R-rated stuff as a kid. But
Mhm.
so because I think it was released at PG-13 in theaters, but we had it on pay-per-view back in the day. And the way I discovered the film was at preschool at like the street where my preschool, where the school was at. Because in Philadelphia, you know, the transit system is SEPTA. You've heard about the SEPTA transit system in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So the SEPTA bus every once in a while would come down the street where my school was at. So all of us were in the parking lot, you know, the play area. Everything was all gated off and everything. So here comes the SEPTA bus coming down the street, and I saw on the side of the bus was this exact poster for the film Bats.
Mhm.
And I remember just freaking out, like, because I heard about it on pay-per-view. I'm like, oh my God, it's Bats! Like, look at the poster, because I thought it was like such a cool looking poster.
Wait, how old were you?
I was 5 years old.
Okay.
I was 5 when this came out, and I was in preschool. And I remember getting the attention of the two teachers that were watching us that day in the schoolyard. And I remember still to this day, the one lady's reaction to seeing the poster, and she's like, why is the title upside down?
Yeah, upside down, and
Why
the
does
other
it look
way.
like that? And I said to her, well, it's a film called Bats, and bats hang upside down, hence the title Bats.
Right.
So that's kind of like my little story about this, like, because I actually got to see the poster of this live outside on a SEPTA bus, because I never saw this on any billboards or nothing. All I saw this was on TV commercials, on pay-per-view, and the SEPTA bus. That's like my little story of how I got introduced to Bats. So kind of a funny little story being in preschool. And I saw the film on pay-per-view because I think I don't know how, like, we just, like, back in 1999 we had a lot of, like, that's like 1999 for me was like a year that I remember a lot of the movies being on pay-per-view. Like 99 was a big year for that because I remember trailers for Bats, Stir of Echoes, Blair Witch Project, The Mummy, and Pokemon the first movie, and Deep Blue Sea, and just so many, like Bone Collector. Like I remember so many of these films that came out in that particular year, and I remember I saw the film for the first time when I was actually in preschool because it was PG-13, so they cut out a lot of the curse words. But I enjoy the film. I think it's a really fun B movie. I think still to this day, it's the best film that's about killer bats. I think, at least for me, I think the cast does a great job. I'm a huge fan of Lou Diamond Phillips, hence that's why
Me too. Yeah.
signed the DVD. He was actually the first celebrity that I met when I first started working part-time at my old job back in 2018. And I think the first convention I went to was up in Maryland to get Lou Diamond Phillips. And I'm a huge fan of his, from Young Guns and The First Power. Great actor. I think Dina Meyer does a great job. I like Bob Goonton. You also have Leon from Cliffhanger. And you also have, I think the director did a pretty decent job too. Louis Morneau, who did, I think, Carnosaur 2 and The Hitcher 2, which is a piece of shit. But I think it's fun. I think the effects are pretty good. You got a mixture of you have, I think K&B. I think K&B did the effects. Greg Nicotero and did the effects on the bat creatures. So pretty decent looking practical effects, as well as a little bit of CGI. But I think the film has a nice sense of humor to it. I think I really like Leon. Like, I like the one line that he says, "You know what I'm thinking? I think this whole situation is fucked up."
Yeah, Leon's good. I like him in a few films. He was in Above the Rim, which I like. That's a good basketball.
He was
movie.
also in Cool Runnings as well.
Yeah,
which is a good one with John Candy.
Right.
I really love the finale where Lou Diamond Phillips and Dina Meyer find the Bat Cave, and they make the whole thing blow up, and they explode the whole Bat Cave. And what I like about this film too, it's a standalone film, and there's no sequel bait ending, because they kind of tease a little bit of the sequel bait ending where the one bat is alive and it's coming out of the ground, and then they just run right over it, going home.
Right. So you don't know if there's like any more.
Right.
After seeing that one, yeah.
The one bat, but then they run over it and kill it. And so that's like kind of like taking the piss out of, having a sequel bait ending.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like shoving it in your face, like, it's kind of like, are we going to have it? We might as well just show like we're going to do a sequel and then just kind of like make fun of it. Just kind of like kill it off,
Yeah, exactly. But I like that, because there was really, like, this was good as a one-timer. And then they really did. They came out with a sequel many years later that had nothing to do with it. I think it was called Bats Human Harvest for Sci-Fi, which I never gave a shit to see.
Right. Yeah.
But,
well, that's a good first horror film.
And I just love. I always loved like that cover. I always liked the cover, and they have like another one that's an alternate version that has like a full face with the sharp teeth, and it's got a red looking face. I never really cared for that. I think this is much better. I just like the glowing yellow eyes, and I just think that's such a cool like looking poster.
That is, yeah,
it's a beautiful poster. You have the purple background with all the bats coming out of the house and the close up shot. And I think it's pretty unique that they have the title upside down. I think that's a pretty unique. And what I also the one last thing I want to touch on is I really like the trailer, because there was really no official trailer for the movie, because it was sort of like a teaser where you saw the moon and all these bats covering the moon, and you never really saw any footage from the movie except for like, in TV spots, but that was really about it. So I think that was pretty clever marketing, because they didn't really say what it was really about. You just knew it was about killer bats, but you never knew what the story was about. So I got to give credit for that. So that was my first horror film I ever saw.
Yeah, because I remember for that film there wasn't a whole lot of marketing, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually considered to be underrated, I think.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And this DVD, I want to let you guys, in case anybody who's curious out there, it does have a really fun commentary track with Lou Diamond Phillips and the director.
Yeah, I have that same one.
I think I think this DVD is pretty hard to get now. I think.
Yeah.
He loves doing commentary. Especially for Young Guns.
Oh, he was fun on that commentary track too. I think it was him. I think Casey Shamasco and I think Dermot Mulroney.
Yes.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny with this whole commentary thing? Is that people argue about streaming versus physical media, but in streaming you don't get commentaries. You can't listen to commentaries.
Physical media, you have it in your possession and it's on the
Exactly.
That's why
that's going to be an upcoming topic, guys. We're going to be talking about physical media versus streaming. That's one I've been wanting to do for longest time. We can do it whenever, but that's going to be one we'll talk about.
But yeah, but that is my little introduction to my first horror film was Bats.
And it was pretty short, right? 80 or 90 some minutes.
Yeah, it was. Doesn't say it on here. Doesn't say how many minutes it is. Yeah, it does not say. But
I know it's pretty short, and it did relatively well.
Yeah, it's a very short movie. It says it's very small, 91 minutes. That's with credits. So without the end credits, it's probably like 85 minutes, 86 minutes.
Yeah, it did relatively well, and theatrically, I remember.
I think it made like a little over $10 million, and I think the film cost, $4 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't that. I mean, it definitely wasn't a gangbuster, blockbuster wise, but it made decent money.
Okay.
Yes, folks, that is my first horror film I ever saw. So, any that you are watching, I hope you enjoyed my little story, and there you go.
Nice. Okay. Well. All right. Well, let's
get into the good stuff.
Let's do the top 10 now. We'll go from 10 to 1.
Sorry about that there. It kind of went off for me.
We'll go from 10 to 1, and
right.
1 being our favorite. So we can start with number 10. Who wants to go first?
Well, you want to go first, Kenny?
Yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah. This is one that I have really a close connection with and nostalgic. Black Christmas.
Ooh, okay.
Because I remember when it was released, and I knew there was a original one. I never did see that until years after it, but this is one that I think is quite well done, and the writing is actually good too. I like all the actresses in it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said with Bats, this one doesn't really show much of anything about what the film would be about.
Right, exactly.
That face. So it could be anything. But I really do like this one.
I think it's underrated.
That's one underrated.
I think that's underrated as shit.
It's a lot better. It's a lot better than that new one.
Yeah, that fucking new one wasn't even Black Christmas. It was propaganda bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I hate when they.
I knew of that, but I didn't see it.
Poor Carrie Ellis, man. I feel sorry for that poor guy being in that piece of shit.
yeah, that movie is unnecessary to make.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's a good one, Kenny. So that's your number 10, huh?
All right. That's a good one.
Yes, I never would have guessed that. Honestly, yeah. All right.
Every one of these I have, I really do enjoy.
That's good. All right, Thomas, why don't you go?
Now we're getting into another unique one, just like Black Christmas. Number 10, Down.
Down.
I heard of that.
Which is also known as The Shaft.
Yeah.
It's a remake of a film from, I think, the early 80s called The Lift.
Is that the Blue Underground release?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a remake. I think the original was a French film called The Lift.
Right.
Which I never saw the original version. I saw parts of it, and it looked pretty dull to me because I think that one they took way too seriously, while this is kind of more just balls to the wall, fun, gory. And now, have you guys ever seen this before?
I saw it on TV, but
now
I've never owned it.
I like the cover too. That's a pretty cool cover.
Yeah, I've never owned the movie.
Now, I really like. First off, I think it's a really fun idea. It's a killer elevator movie.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, it's a gory, fun time. Like, I mean, you have James Marshall, who I like as an actor. I like James Marshall from Gladiator from 1992 with Jr. You have Naomi Watts. This is before she was in The Ring, and I think they released this after The Ring was popular, because I think she did this before The Ring, so they waited for The Ring to come out, and then they released this.
Yeah, I think the ring was like what, 2002,
and this was 2001.
Like yeah, okay.
And you also have small appearances by Michael Ironside, Edward Herrmann, may rest in peace, Ron Perlman, Dan Hedaya. So great little supporting cast of people.
Yeah.
And what makes this film work is just like the concept. You know, it's a fun, gory, balls to the wall, killer elevator film. And if you want to have a silly premise like that, just go balls to the wall and just have a fun time. And what what made this film, like, you know, just the icing on top of the cake for me when I first saw this, the end credit song was "Love in an Elevator" by Aerosmith. Like, come on, like,
I love Aerosmith.
That's gold. Like, the killer elevator movie, and like literally James Marshall kills the beast by shooting a bazooka at its heart. A fucking bazooka.
Yeah.
And then the end credit song is "Love in an Elevator" by Aerosmith. Like, how fucking badass can you? Yeah. Like, that's badass. That's gold.
Yeah.
But like anybody out there, if you want if you want to see a really fun remake that's just gory, balls to the wall with a good cast, I think you'll be in a surprise for Down.
Is this going to your channel, Rob?
Yeah.
Because I'm curious because I wasn't seeing anyone chatting.
I think it only says that there's one person watching right now.
Wait, and when we went off live the first time, Dale was in the chat, and then some other random guy.
Yeah, it can't be. This is obviously live, so the other one stopped. So, yeah, hopefully they come back on.
No,
I like the tagline. Your next stop is hell.
Thinking of Down, that made me think of that M. Night Shyamalan produced film. Devil. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
That one I actually like. Not directed by him.
Right.
But that is my number 10. Down.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Rob, what do you got?
My number 10 is one that you probably would never have guessed, but I went with the 1976 King Kong.
Oh, okay.
And this is a bloody film. If you haven't seen the remake of King Kong, of course there's more. You know, there's Peter Jackson's remake, but this one was so different. And Jessica Lange, this is her film debut, and man, he gets shot up by helicopters at the end. There's blood just coming out of him, and he fights a snake. He rips it in half, and there's blood and guts. And like, this movie is like, for a King Kong movie, like, I never seen it before like that.
And especially in the 70s too.
I know, but he looks so good in this movie. He looks so menacing, and the animatronics they use and stuff like that. And he goes on the two towers, which is weird to see.
Right.
You know, the two towers, but honestly, yeah, this is. I used to watch this all the time with my dad. He had it recorded on a tape, and we would I don't know. I saw this King Kong movie more than any other King Kong movie combined, and I don't know, it just stuck with me. So
that's why you own that particular edition.
This is the Scream Factory edition on Blu-ray, but yeah. So that's my number 10.
Many people probably don't really think about it or realize remakes have been around for decades anyway. like Ben-Hur, the famous one with 1958 or 59. That is a remake of
True.
a 1925 silent film.
And House of Wax with Vincent Price was a remake.
Well,
I knew that. Yeah.
The Wax Museum.
Well, if you figure like there's short films or there's silent films, then there's like remakes off of those. Those are still considered remakes, whether it's a silent film or not. So they're still considered remakes. But anyway, so yeah, that's okay. So that's our number 10s are out of the way. Let's move on to number 9.
All right, Kenny.
My Bloody Valentine.
Okay.
Yes.
This one I really do enjoy. I think
Harry
this one
Ward.
is underrated.
Good old Harry Ward.
The writing for this is also quite well done, I think. I like all the actors in it are really good. Jensen Ackles, and he does a great job with making you not really think that he's the one who is actually, I probably shouldn't spoil it, but because he is in and out a lot.
What do you think about the woman walking around naked all the time?
There's only one scene.
Yeah, but it goes on forever. She's like, she's in the hotel room, then she walks outside with the gun.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't care about that.
I just think I think that scene's funny though. It's funny.
Right, yeah. But I liked this. So I think 2009 was a really good year for remakes because you had this and Friday the 13th, which is not really a remake. People keep calling it a remake, but it really isn't. But that one is my 10, my Bloody Valentine. Now I mean 9.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that's your number 9. All right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas.
My number 9 is one was already mentioned already, but Kenny said it's not. But it's a reboot. But Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, basically, that's a combination of 1, 2, 3, and like 4 together. Like,
right.
They just combine it all together.
And I really enjoyed this film. This is like Hey Elm Street remake. You should have taken notes from this of how to do a remake the right way. Because I think
Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my God! Don't get me started.
I think Derek Mears is easily one of the best guys to ever don the Jason mask. I think Derek Mears is an underrated Jason. I think he's great. And I really like the cast. Like you mentioned, how in My Bloody Valentine it was Jensen Ackles. Here it's Jared Padalecki, who is also in Supernatural. You also have Danielle Panabaker from the Flash TV show. You have Aaron Yu from Disturbia. You have Amanda Rigetti, who was in that piece of shit called Return to House on Haunted Hill. You have Travis Van Winkle from was he in the first Transformers?
Who? Oh, the guy who was playing Trent.
Oh,
yeah. Was he in the first Transformers?
Idiot Jock.
Was he in the first
Transformers? Trent was in Transformers, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And he played a dick in that too.
Exactly. And funny enough, Marcus Nispel, who directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, did this as well. And we got a little guest here.
Yeah, she's going to bed. Night-night. See? Look.
Yeah, it's like after that, he had a really short career as directing me. I mean, now he doesn't do it much anymore.
Which is a shame because I think Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th are two of the best remakes that are out there, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
What I think what also makes this film work as well is the way they made Jason. They didn't make Jason cry like Michael Myers in Halloween 5 or have things like that.
Oh God!
They made Jason smart. He sets up traps, and I tell you, one of the best death scenes in the movie is I forget the guy's who is the black guy's name in the remake? But you know which guy
I
I'm
know
talking
what you mean.
Jason's running after him and he throws the axe like
in his back. Yeah.
just like
I
throws
don't remember his name, but yeah, he's the one that he was kind of funny. I
You
think
got one of the more brutal.
you sort of have like you sort of had the character that was sort of like the not Matthew McConaughey sort of character in the boat.
Right.
Another great death scene is when the girl's under the dock and then Jason puts the machete through the dock and like picks her up by her head.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Great.
Yeah,
great.
you got to have boobs in the scene. You can't have Friday the
Of
13th
course,
without
it's
that.
Friday the 13th. You got to have nudity in there.
You got to have that, you know.
And what always pissed me off, there was never a sequel to this after this, because I know there was all
there
kinds of
still
rights
hasn't been.
after this, and
Yeah.
because it ends on a sequel based ending. In case you guys and anybody out there doesn't know, but you know how the movie ends. But I think Jared Padalecki does a great job. And what's also interesting is like, remember the scene where Jared Padalecki goes to visit that old lady?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She looked very similar to the old lady in the Chainsaw Massacre remake.
I almost thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
her, but it's actually
but it
not.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah.
Well, more like in the prequel, because they show more of her in the prequel. But
Jared Padalecki does a good job in House of Wax as well.
he does, yes.
He gets
Oh, yeah.
really tortured in that movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God.
But Friday the 13th, I think it's a great introduction. And for anybody who doesn't know Jason, and that was your first, it's a pretty good introduction to Jason if you haven't seen the original films. But that's a good one for me.
It does bother me there hasn't been a sequel to it.
I
But
know.
I think there was a video game years later after it.
Yeah, I don't think that game's like
Feel like
really.
a sequel in its own way.
Yeah, it is what it is with that movie. I mean, it sucks that we couldn't get something else, but
Right.
well, that's a good number 9. All right. All right, I'm going to go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. 78,
I was about to say, is that the 70s?
Oh, not that 90s one.
No. Donald Sutherland. You got Leonard Nimoy, Jeff Goldblum. It was by W.D. Richter. I think that's how you say Richter. But this one, yeah, this is a freaking classic, man. This is sci-fi horror, but I don't know. I feel like this is just no one, even though this is like people in the horror community know about this movie, but no one ever really talks in depth about it. What I'm going to do an in-depth review of this because there's a lot to talk about here. But I don't know. I think this movie is just chilling and freaky sometimes.
It's a good one.
But yeah, that's the one I pick for number 9.
And then as you were saying, that's a remake. There was one before that, I think in the 50s or something, and it was black and white.
Well,
there's a whole bunch of those.
There's been so many movies based off of like Body Snatchers that's not called Body Snatchers. It's like, you know, The Faculty is kind of like that.
Right.
You have Assimilate, which is actually a low budget sci-fi horror film that I really love. With Andy Batichak from Halloween.
Yeah, 2018.
Yeah,
I heard of that.
So yeah, that's a good one. So
I'm liking this so far.
Yeah, you guys, I've been having trouble like guessing your guys' list. I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be, and then I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm completely wrong.
Right.
All right, let's move on to number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. The Last House on the Left.
All right. I love that movie. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
love it.
I'm not a fan of the original.
The original.
I like that original.
The original is kind of disturbing, but
kind of goofy too.
It is kind of like yeah, it is kind of wonky and goofy sometimes. But
that's why I think the remake's better because it's more darker.
Yeah,
there's more character scenes, and there's violence, but it's really not as throughout like that original. it's more about the characters, and that's what I like about this so much.
Yeah, it's definitely. I even think the rape scene in that movie is disturbing. I mean, people
I
talk
think
about. Yeah, that one.
no. This is the other one that like My Bloody Valentine and Friday the 13th that I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
No, it is good. It is really good. I even like. What do you call? What's his name? Tony Goldwyn from.
yeah, as the
From.
dad,
Yeah, from Ghost.
And
Like.
Friday Part 6.
he's been around
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yep. Very good. That's a really good one.
Yeah, wasn't I? Yeah, did not. I almost
You
forgot
guys.
about that one.
You guys have had all good ones so far.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that's okay. That's your number 8, Thomas. Your number
Right.
8.
My number 8, we already talked about this one already.
Okay.
But number 8, House of Wax.
All right. Very
I
good one.
You had the collector's edition.
Yeah, and it's actually signed by John
Oh,
Abrams.
use your head.
Yeah, Dalton. Yeah, Dalton, the guy who got his head cut off.
Yeah.
But House of Wax, I always thought this was such an underrated gem. Because I never did, like, when this first came out in 2005, like I never even knew there was even an original House of Wax because that was really before I was really into horror films. But
The original's good too.
yeah, the original Vincent Price,
Yeah.
from the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is great too. I really like the cast in here. You have
Elijah Cooper. Elijah Cooper.
You had Chad Michael Murray. You have Jared Padalecki, John Abrams, Robert Richard from Cousin Skeeter back in the day. Anybody grew up with Cousin Skeeter from Nickelodeon, you know, Robert Richard.
And not Paris Hilton. No.
Yeah, if you don't like Paris Hilton, she gets killed. So there's that.
Yeah.
Gets a
That was
pipe
the best scene in the movie. If she gets killed, God,
got a pipe right, and I really
sitting there in the tent with her friggin' underwear and bra, dancing around like a floozy.
And I really like Brian Van
Yeah.
Holt as the killer.
Mm,
I love Brian because Brian Van Holt plays. It's basically, you know, twins.
Yeah.
They're twin killers, and it's by the same guy. And I really thought he did a good job. And this film is gory as hell. Like, and because like we talk about Jared Padalecki's death, like he's the first one that gets encased in the wax, and when his friend's peeling away the wax, you can see like he's pulling skin off. You see like his cheekbones.
right.
Yeah, and he's still alive. That's what's
Yeah,
really,
and like
what's
you
crazy
can see a
about
tear
it.
coming out his eye because he's in pain.
Yeah.
Like it's creepy as shit. Like it's a creepy setting where this abandoned town, like you see like a window curtain being open. It's actually a wax dummy or a wax person, you know, opening the curtain. Like they're being controlled by these two guys, and the whole finale of this is fucking awesome because the whole entire museum is made of wax and it's literally melting to the ground.
Mm-hmm. That's a good scene.
Yeah,
Like,
it's great.
How they did that was amazing.
And the effects here, like the gore effects, are extremely well done. And oddly enough, the music is by John Ottman of all people. I forgot John Ottman was the composer for this. This is the same guy that directed Urban Legend 2.
All right, yes.
Which I think that's underrated as well.
Oh, Words 789. My number 1 horror remake is Dawn of the Dead Snyderverse. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Great. That's a good one to have for a number 1.
I love the Snyderverse, man. I'm a huge Snyder fan. So
You think Dawn of the Dead is part of the Snyderverse?
Well, he just means like Snyder as a director.
Oh, I thought I'm meaning you, Rob.
Oh, what? Oh,
You
I mean,
think that's
I like his work. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Of course, like the cover that everybody knows of is this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Is that
Paris?
that's supposed to be Paris, right?
Yeah, it's basically.
It's like she's melting. Like, why couldn't she get covered in the wax? Why couldn't she? That'd be better. Just have
she
her be.
She got a pipe through her face. So
Yeah, well,
I remember I didn't really care for that one.
I don't think that's the first time she's ever gotten piping laid on her.
I love the cover. Like you get like the whole view of this abandoned town, and
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, House of Wax. underrated as hell.
I
Underrated.
remember
Yeah.
I didn't really care for that one that year because then there was The Fog also released that same.
Oh God. Oh God. I have a fog coming out of my ass right now. Oh God.
Well,
Woo!
if you heard me fart not that long ago, that was the fog. That was the fog movie that came out of my bunghole.
Oh, I thought I saw some steam behind you. Or was that the fog? Oh
Ooh,
God.
oh, daddy.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah, but anyway, House of Wax is my number 8.
That's good, yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Snyderverse, my number
Oh.
8 is
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. He read my mind. What I love about this film is he kind of like modernized zombies.
Right.
They're running fast. They're kind of scary. The thing is, I want to say a complaint is the mall. I don't think they focused on the mall too much, but maybe that's okay because the original they focused on the mall a lot. In this one, it was more like there were so many characters for one thing. In the original, there was 4 characters. They surrounded 4 characters, right?
They had like Galen Ross. They had Ken Foray. They had the guy that played
Yeah.
Proctor.
Right. So they had there was basically 4 characters. In this one, there's a ton of characters. So it's like, I don't know. I felt like there was just more to concentrate on, which was fine. But I just I like the whole beginning. The first 15 minutes of this movie is badass when it shows like everything going down. Everything's going down. Everyone's starting to go crazy. The zombies start showing up and like people turning and yeah, that's that's so good. And I like how Andy, who owns the gun store across the way, he's like sitting there holding a sign up like, what's going on? He's like trapped over there. But I'm sorry, that stupid bitch girl who's they send the dog over to give him a sandwich. The dog gets over there and the girl's like, oh, where's the dog? And she fucking gets in the truck and goes after the dog. What the fuck, you stupid bitch? Oh my God. Anyway, I thought that she deserved to die. Anyway, yeah. She didn't. But yeah, I love this movie. Great movie.
Yeah. It's a
Great
one. Great choice, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are we on? Number 7?
Oh, these lists are good.
All right, number 7, Kenny. Let's do it.
Number 7.
The Crazy.
Nice.
The Crazies. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I really think this one is well done.
That is a good one. Yes, that is a good one.
And I thought Timothy Oliphant was casted good for this. I know a lot of people don't always really enjoy seeing him.
I don't mind him. I liked him in Live Free, Die Hard.
Although he was the most forgettable villain of the first 4 films.
True.
But he's definitely much better than the villain in Die Hard 5.
Yeah. No, I like it.
And I like the other cast members in the Crazies. I like, Rhoda Mitchell, Joe Anderson from Perfect Getaway. And Daniel Baker, of all people, from Friday the 13th was in that one, too.
Yeah.
Well, Timothy Oliphant was in Perfect Getaway, too, wasn't he?
Oh, that's right. He was.
Yeah.
And Scream 2. Don't forget Scream 2.
Yeah.
Yes, and I liked, what's her name, Rhoda Mitchell, who's the wife and mother in this. She was great in this.
She was really good.
She had a lot of really good kill moments in this.
One of the best scenes with her in the movie is when she's tied down and then the guy is going around with the pitchfork and
yeah, that's the dude.
When they're in that room.
Yeah,
the 2 of them.
That scene is
quiet.
Yeah, that scene is intense, man.
I got to see that in the theater back in 2010.
Yeah,
I think I saw it in the theater as well. Can't remember.
Yeah, I know I did.
Kenny, have you seen the original?
I know of it, but I know it deals more with the fallout of what is going on rather than this.
Yeah.
And because this every goes once they are all infected, that's when they really start their Rampage, but I know the original from at that time there was a lot of radioactive paranoia, so it deals more with that than the remake one does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have always enjoyed this one. So
That's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
one.
so
All right.
Boy,
my
these lists,
seven.
these lists are getting better and better.
Yeah, these are very good. Very good lists. All right, number 7, Thomas.
And my
my
six
number-
is a good one. Sorry.
What's that? Sorry.
My 6 is a good one.
Yeah, mine is as well.
Yeah, mine is too.
My number 7 was Rob's number 8, Dawn of the Dead.
There it is, Dawn
I mean,
of the Dead.
What more can you say about the remake of Dawn of the Dead that hasn't been said before? Although I do prefer the original Dawn of the Dead.
So do I.
The original Dawn of the Dead is timeless. It's timeless. It's a
Yes.
timeless classic. The mall setting is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The cast in that is great. But Zack Snyder did something very different with this, and I think he did a great job. Basically, what Zack Snyder did with this, he made it more of an action movie, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the zombies are a lot faster. They run, and I like I said, I really like the cast in here. Sarah Polley. I really like Ving Rhames, Jake Weber, Mekhi Phifer.
You know what makes those zombies scary though? It's like in the original, it's like the zombies were slow and stupid. And even if they were in groups, you could still kind of like move around them.
Oh,
you know. But in these, it's like holy crap!
These guys are coming at you like football players.
Just dealing with one would be hard. So
imagine trying to go around 5 of these people.
That's what I mean. It's like I think it makes it scary in that way.
And the other cast members in here too. You have what's his name? He was in Wrong Turn. Kevin Zegers.
Yeah, he was also in Frozen.
Airbud.
Yeah,
as the little kid.
Yeah,
and you also have what's the guy's name from?
I mean Frozen, directed by Adam Green, not the other Frozen.
And the one guy that's on Modern Family, Ty Burrell.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there. He's in here too. Rob basically described this on the overall. It's one of the best probably one of the best zombie remakes out there. It's probably one of my favorite zombie films as well. But still, at the same time, though, it still can't top the original by far.
It would have been higher on my list, but there is actually a remake in my number 1 spot. It's actually new. None of you guys know what it is, but you'll see, and I'll explain it. But anyway.
And I know that Dawn of the Dead, it's a creepy moment where this lady is pregnant, I think, and that she's pregnant with one of those things.
Yeah, Mekhi Phifer's a baby, and then
yeah. That always freaked me out, and I think that it's in the trailers.
Yeah. All right, that's your number 7?
Yep.
All right. My number 7 is the 1988 classic, The Blob.
Nice.
I love this movie. I don't care what people say. I love it. I love the original one. The original one has its place, but this one, the effects is what does it for me. The effects. When that guy is getting swallowed up and like he looks like all his skin and stuff. Oh my God, it's so crazy.
Oh, you mean in that building when it's covering him, it looks like it's pulling away?
Yeah, like it's like engulfing the dude.
Yeah, and then his arm is pulled off.
I love Shawnee Smith. The first movie I ever saw Shawnee Smith in was The Stand, Stephen King's The Stand.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Stand. And then I saw her in this. So I saw The Stand first, and I saw this. But I really like her as an actress, and of course she was in the Saw movies. But
she's been in more than just that. She was in From.
Yeah, she's been in a lot. But I'm saying when I first knew her, when I first was noticing like what she was in, it was some of those films. But Kevin Dillon, of course,
got to meet him just recently, actually.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, there's people who give this movie shit, and I I really don't get it. I really don't. I mean, what do you expect? It's the Blob. Like, what do you expect it to be?
It's a
I mean,
fun monster movie.
in the original, it's not like in the original there wasn't some cheesy moments. There's cheesy moments all over the original. So I don't know. Had different tastes, I guess, but
Right.
yeah, that's my number 7. I'm guessing, Kenny, you don't like that movie. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine if you don't. It's no big deal.
No, it was just funny because that's my 6.
Okay, now I know why you're laughing. I'm like, wait, what? Okay,
I love that cover.
you little sneaky.
Yes, this.
Okay, all right.
In a way, I like this one over that other one, that collector's edition one. This is the earliest DVD release, I believe.
Yeah, I still have that one somewhere around here.
Yeah,
I never owned the DVD. I didn't get it until when the Scream Factory release came out.
I got mine at Goodwill. Yeah.
And as you were saying about the 1958 one, I remember it was around 1992, I think, 91, 92, when I saw both of them, that 1958 and this one. And I like the 1958 one a lot. There, like I said with an earlier remake, that I felt that one has a lot more character development than this. Though I like the actors and the characters in this one because like with that Blob, that was in the 50s. So like I was saying, like radioactivity, there was a lot of that emphasis on that, and I liked Steve McQueen was an excellent cast for that one, and I'm guessing Kevin Dillon has that role in this one, and so I really liked Shawnee Smith as well, and like we were talking about her, she was in that other kind of a medical comedy show with Tom
Ted Danson, Becker.
Ted Danson, yeah.
Oh yeah, Becker.
Yeah. That one I really liked. And another scene that I think was really well done was that scene of the lady in that phone booth.
Yeah. That's a good one. But that scene right there on the cover, that's the one I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
That one, that's a really good one.
With that guy being it almost looks like he's being vacuum sucked. Then the
he's
other
being
one
sucked
I liked
off for
was
sure.
the other one I liked was in the car with that guy and the girl, where his face gets sucked in.
And
then those who have seen it know the beginning of it. That older man keeps poking at the thing, and then he gets it under his stick, tries to shake it up, and then it somehow kind of crawls up. Then it stays on him. And then when he's in that, I guess he's at the police station, the half of him is, I guess, eaten away, or it's almost like acid. Half of him disintegrated away.
Yeah. So, that's a good one. I freaking love that movie.
I've known about it. I've seen it not a lot until I bought this, but this is one I always enjoyed it as well. 6.
Nice. That's a very good one. All right. Seems like we have similar ones, but in different spots. So that's fine.
Right, because I didn't have Dawn of the Dead anywhere there where you two were mentioning.
Yeah. All right. Number 6, Thomas.
Number 6 will be a good one. My number 6, Night of the Living Dead. 1990.
1990. Yeah, that's good.
I'm not a fan of the original Night of the Living Dead. I will be honest. I'm not a fan of the original. I don't like the way it ends, and I prefer this one much more. I think Tom Savini did a heck of a job. And what's a shame is he never directed it really ever again.
I love the original, but I have to say I love the remake more.
And please, for the love of God, like any company out there, like Screen Factory, give this a special edition, please. Like, give this a nice special edition, please.
It hasn't been yet.
The thing is about that remake is Patricia Tallman. Her version of Barbara is different than, she's not like a damsel in distress. She's actually a tough bitch at the end.
She's a badass, yeah.
And like that's what I like.
That's why I like this one more than the original. I'm not really. I mean, Judith O'Dea in the original Night of the Living Dead
she had her place, but
yeah.
I mean,
I just like this cast better. Like I really like Tony Todd, Bill Moseley.
Yeah,
like, I really enjoy this cast. And for the love of God, like please get this a special edition because. So many of these people I mean, Bill Moseley will be willing to talk about this. Tony Todd will be willing.
No, well, not only that, but the zombies, I think, their makeup effects in the movie were top notch compared to the original.
And the effects,
they only had so much to work with in the original. I get it,
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking what 68? What was it? 68?
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, limited resources what they had to work with.
But I always thought, like, because I watched this most recently, I'm like, man, I forgot how underrated this movie is.
Oh, it's amazing. Like I've always, yeah.
I like I said, I like the cast better. It's got some nice gory bits in there, and like I said, I really like Tony Todd, Bill Moseley. I think Tom Savini did a heck of a job directing this.
Yeah, he did great.
And I wish Tom Savini would have directed more. Because I think he had a knack for directing. He did a great job directing this.
You're right.
But Night of the Living Dead, number 6.
It's funny, like I said, the Blob. When I saw that, and I saw the original and the remake, it was the same with that. Night of the Living Dead. I saw those around the same time as well. So I have fond memories of both of those. And in a way, I felt that. Not to knock the remake, I felt there was more. I was more frightened from the original than the remake one because it was black and white, so it made it look more ominous and scary to me.
And that happens with a lot of those black and white features from back. The time period. Right.
I was a child, so maybe that doesn't really mean anything.
One thing we can say about these remakes, just don't forget about the original. And the next one that I'm going to mention for my number 6 is definitely an example of that.
Mm.
So, 1986, we have The Fly.
The Fly.
Now, don't forget the original. That's the original is important, but this one, as far as effects and characters and designs, the sets that they have here, This is like amazing. It is so freaking good. It is so nasty. I mean, there's some gross, like Thomas just farted. It's gross. It's some gross. Like I freaking Jeff Goldblum, great. Well, I don't really need to talk about this. Everyone knows this movie. Does it smell bad like The Fly?
It's going bad like The Fog.
Are the flies all hovering around your ass?
It's hovering around the fog.
With the fog coming out.
Oh my God. I remember when I first saw this movie though, I was kind of disgusted by some of the effects, like disgusted as like, oh my God, like kind of like that. But
yeah.
I don't think that way now. I was a little pussy back then. Anyway. So yeah, that's my number 6 is The Fly.
Okay. I didn't own it, but that is my number 5.
Oh, we did it again, Kenny. Jesus.
Yeah, twice in a row.
Yeah.
And, that was another one that
Well, let me tell you what. We're in our top 5. That's a very good top 5 now. Now you're in top 5. I feel like they're all going to be important or all good.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and this is where they really started varying, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said with the effects, he does a lot of puking or throwing up a lot, and it's like acid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So no.
But the creature looks cool too.
The transformation scene is amazing.
Yeah.
And then there was The Fly too, which is underrated. With
I think I like that too. Yeah.
The Fly 2 is good, and no one talks it. Again, no one talks about that one at all. That's like the Jaws 2 of the Fly movies.
That's Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
And Daphne Zuniga from Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Fly 2 is
all right.
good. All right, well, that's your number 5. Nice. Well,
yeah, you basically said everything else.
Oh, okay.
But I liked all the acting in it. Like, you didn't mention Gina Davis. She was.
Oh no, yeah, she was good.
This is one of her earlier, not the earliest, but one of her earlier big roles.
It was really before Louise, League of Their Own, like way before those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, hell yeah. That would have made my top 5, but God, I just the ones I have, I just couldn't make a place for it. My top 5.
Yeah, my top 5 are pretty important as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Thomas, top 5. Yeah, here we go with number 5.
Number 5, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I knew that would be in there somewhere. Let me guess, Tommy, or let me guess, Kenny. That's your number 4, huh?
Yeah.
I can always tell.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I do have it on Blu-ray as well, but I figured I'd show this because I like the packaging of the DVD.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah.
I remember too. This is another one of those films that back when it first came out in 2003, I never even knew as a little kid that there was an original of this. I thought this was the only Chainsaw Massacre film there was.
Oh, you saw that first? Did you see this one first?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I remember this was advertised everywhere, like at train stations. Like every single set the train station that we ever went to, this was always advertised everywhere. With but not this cover, but it was the one that you see on the Bare Bones DVD with the green looking. It's like a black background with the green looking face.
That must be the one that has features.
There was a huge Leatherface standee at the movie theater when they were promoting that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a huge standee of Leatherface.
This was a pretty good year for 2003 because the same year as this, you had Freddy vs. Jason. The same year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really what I think makes the Chainsaw Massacre remake work is how different it is from the original film because it's very different from the original.
Yeah.
Different characters.
That's how you do a remake, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can have nods. You can have nods to the original, but just keep it fresh. Like do your own thing. You know?
As much as I think Andrew Bernarski is a piece of shit human being in real life, I think he does a great job as Leatherface. I really do think he does a good job.
Yeah, he was actually scary. They actually made him scary, I think.
I think Jessica Biel is an underrated horror final girl. I really do.
I wanted her to come back, like for sure. Yeah. She had that she had that she wasn't a damsel in distress, but she had that kind of like curiosity about her. Like she wasn't sure on what to do certain times, but then she would just say "screw it" and then do it. You know,
I mean, she chopped Leatherface's arm off, ran
she
over Harley Ermy.
She was so scared when she was hiding, and then she set him up. She tricked him. So I'm like, man, dude, like they need to have her back. They need to bring her back for something.
And then other horror films.
I like Jonathan Tucker, Mike Vogel from Cloverfield. You have Erica Learson. She's the witch, man.
And then Eric Balfour, which a lot of people
and who can't forget the lovable coach from Saving Silverman, R. Lee Ermey. as the town
He
sheriff.
like honestly, he was
Lovable.
a great. He was. I thought, I was worried at first because I'm like, is he going to take away from Leatherface? But no, he really added. He added a lot of stuff to
You're
it.
right. Right.
You know,
I miss Arlie Ermy a lot. I miss the guy a lot. Very
Yeah.
talented guy.
Mm.
Whether it be this film, Full Metal Jacket, Saving Silverman, which was a personal favorite
he was.
role of mine.
He was so Saving Silverman. I remember that scene when he's like, "Where's the toilet? I got to take a dump." He's like, "We're using the lawn now." He's like, "Smart thinking, boys." And he goes out there and he uses their
mail.
their mail to wipe his ass.
Your boys got any TP? No, that's okay. I'll find something.
Yeah.
And
God.
And then 7.
God damn it, the heat. They can't get off their ass. I'm going out in a hail of gunfire. It was nice meeting you, Mr. Diamond.
And he just jumps out. Yeah.
Saving Silverman, but like if we ever do like a top underrated comedy down in the future, that's like one we got to talk about.
That's a movie that I actually just laugh so hard I cannot stop. Like it's so.
You've been pinching loads out in the front yard. I mean, I play croquet out there.
So how'd you do it? We ate her. Yeah, ate her.
Ironically, because he played a can, he would play a cannonball a couple of years later.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But enough of that talk. But that's for a different topic, a different day. But I can talk about Saving Silverman all day.
Me too.
And what's sad about this is Kathy Lampkin, the tea lady, she passed away.
Yeah.
I think I think last year. I think. Oh my. But I will say though, the family in this is not nearly as interesting as the Sawyer boys in the original, because like I just take the Sawyer boys in the original with the cook and the hitchhiker and
like they were crazy and they're
more memorable.
They were crazy in their own way,
right?
These folks were crazy, but kind of subtle. Like they
Very,
were like
quietly crazy.
Yeah. With
the exception of like maybe like Arlie Ermy, who was sort of like the louder guy.
Right. Yeah.
But and funny enough, Marcus Nispel, who directed Friday the 13th, did this as well, and he was a music video director. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it's a badass remake. I really do.
Well, at least with that director of music videos, he did a better job directing that than what's his name?
Samuel Bayer of Wall Street.
Yeah,
oh my God.
But yeah, my number 5 was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
All right.
This is unexpected. My 3 of mine have been in line with 2 of the ones that you.
I know it's like we mentioned we mentioned them, and then here you are holding yours up.
Yes.
What do you got, Rob?
My number 5 is The Ring.
Nice.
Okay. There are very few movies out there that scared me. Okay, I'm going to admit that. But when I first saw this movie in the theater, I hadn't watched the Japanese Ringu. Yeah, I haven't even watched that. I haven't even heard of it. When I saw this film, I remember the car ride home. I kept thinking about the area where I used to live. There was a cemetery in the forest. There was a well over there that didn't look like the well in the movie, but it was a well. And I kept thinking when I would sit there at night of the girl popping out of that well and walking down the street of the cemetery up to my house. Ah, man, I got look at that. Look at that. I got goosebumps.
Oh yeah, like when she first comes up here, her hair appears.
Yes, Samara. Like I don't. Naomi Watts, she was so good in this movie, and Brian Cox was good in this movie. Like I don't know, this movie is so creepy. It is just creepy. With the videotape and all that, I like it better than Ringu. I'm gonna say it. I
me too.
I think Ringu is fine. I think this is better, but I don't care for the sequels. But I freaking love this movie. I can watch this over and over again.
As Ring 2, I didn't really care for that.
I can't
saw
believe
Rings.
Yeah.
I actually didn't mind that one.
Rings, I thought Rings had its moments, but This movie to me should have just been a one-off kind of movie. I felt like
Same with Taken.
it's so good. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like you said, The Ring, and then Naomi Watts was in Mulholland Drive about 2 or 3 years before that. And I think that was the first time I ever saw her.
She was also in the Funny Games remake too.
Yes.
But yeah, that's my number 5. So it's a movie. Dan even agrees with me. Dan thinks that movie's creepy too. We couldn't stop talking about it on the way home, and that was what 2002, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That was 2000. Yeah. So
that was one of the ones that many people think started the whole horror remake craze in recent times.
Well, there were so many spoofs of The Ring and The Grudge. It's like it became kind of stale after a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like The Grudge too, but I just like The Ring. I just think The Ring is more. It has a cool concept to it. So
right.
That's my number 5. The Ring.
And then my.
So we'll move on to your number 4.
My 4 was the one that Thomas held up, the Texas. Yeah, I didn't own that one.
Hey,
I don't own as a lot, but I greatly enjoy that one also.
Hey, physical media collector, what's up?
How you doing?
Thanks for coming on.
Anyone in the chat, but we've been having people come in apparently, and. Yeah, I really liked all the people in that, and Early Ermey also. He was a great addition, and really he's not in it a lot. I was expecting.
He's in the prequel a lot more.
Right.
I just I didn't. I think I remember seeing that one, and I didn't care for that. It's not terrible.
A lot of people did. A lot of people didn't care for the beginning.
And then I like. I mentioned Eric Balfour. I thought he was actually really good in this. A lot of people kind of give him crap because they don't think he's that good of an actor.
Well, I
really liked him in.
I think Jessica Biel kind of overshined him a little bit.
Yes.
But I mean, I didn't have no problem with him. Thought he was good.
And
that's a good number 4.
The music was also great, well done in that remake.
Is anybody going to pick
up
the
music
Ring?
Score was well done.
The Ring 4K box
set. I like because I own that original one.
Oh yeah.
But I thought there was more character development in the remake than even in the original. I really liked the girl who was the hitchhiker. I wasn't expecting her to
blow her brains out.
Yeah.
Physical media. I heard about that box set. Like I don't really care for many of the sequels, but I do like box sets. So I don't have the Ring on 4K. I would like to get it on 4K, but
it was like I know that
money
one,
together.
that Friday the 13th Thomas held is from the big box set.
Yeah, that's what I pulled it out of.
Yeah, the Scream Factory box set, right?
Yep, it's actually on top of my shelf right now.
I got that one too.
Were you able to get the poster with it?
No, because I didn't order off Scream Factory's website. I got it off Amazon.
Yeah, me as well.
I mean, I don't really care to own the poster, and I can
get a poster anywhere.
I just want the set itself.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. So your number 4 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
All right.
And John Larroquette, he reprised his part as the narrator.
Yes. Yep. All right. All right. Thomas, you're number 4.
My number 4 is The Thing.
Oh, see, it's starting to get predictable now. We all know the big heavy hitters are coming.
The Thing.
Yes.
I mean, one more can you say? Like that poster is just classic.
But
Um,
never forget the original. Thing from Another World is amazing.
the Thing from Another World is great too.
It is amazing. But this is on another level. This is on another level. It's like up here. It's like, you know.
Because that deals with more about seeing the creature and the
Well, the effects are like shown at a great. You just can't even think about what's going on because the effects are so damn good.
You're
And
Like it blows your mind, honestly.
the special makeup effects by Rob Bottin are amazing.
Yeah, like damn, like you could just watch the movie for that. I mean, hell.
And the cast is amazing. Kurt Russell, Keith David, T.K. Carter, Wilford Brimley, like such a great cast of people. And I love the whole setting in the Antarctic snow. I like the whole setting, and the musical score is freaking amazing.
Would you say that you would put that in your top 5 John Carpenters?
This?
Yeah,
I would.
It would definitely be my top 5 John Carpenter.
Like for top 5 Carpenter, like my number one favorite is The Fog. My top 5 would be in no particular order, like The Fog, Big Trouble in Little China, Halloween, The Thing, and probably Vampires with James Woods, maybe. It's off the top of my head.
I didn't think about Vampires. Yeah, that's a good one.
Although I do like Christine, I really like They Live, Prince of Darkness. And John Carpenter has made a lot of good stuff.
That's a good video. That's a good future video. I think I'll make another one of those.
Absolutely. Hey, there you go. Brainstorm more ideas.
Yeah.
But what more can I say about The Thing that hasn't been said before? It's a timeless classic, and it's classic John Carpenter.
Hell yeah. All right, that's a heavy hitter for number 4.
What do you got, Rob?
For me, I'm gonna go with The Hills Have Eyes.
Nice.
Unrated.
Very nice.
I think this version is superior to the original. Nothing against the original. I think the original's fine, but I don't know.
What about? And then there was a part 2 of that one, which
fuck that.
Did not like.
And there was a part 2 to the original one as well.
Okay, both versions I think of part 2. I don't really care for either of them, honestly. But this one I like how I love the dude with the dog. How he's trying to go back to save the baby, and he's basically this nerd that knows nothing. He knows about technology, and that's it. But he turns out to be like a badass.
Oh, you're talking about Aaron Stanford.
Yeah.
Pyro from X-Men.
Yes, but I was like, wow, like, dude, this guy is. I like him. At first, I thought he was just like this cocky little prick, but I love Ted Levine. I love him. Buffalo Bill himself. When he's like, he's like, hey, can you fix it? When he crashes his car, he's like, what? He's like, what? I'm Ted Levine. What? Hello.
One of the few times he got to play a good guy.
Yeah. And he what?
His death scene. His death is.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah, but like he played Rusty Nail's voice in Joyride, which I love.
Oh, Physical Media said In the Mouth of Madness is another good John Carpenter.
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that one.
In the Mouth of Madness, yeah.
But going back to Hills Have Eyes, like I love how on the other side of the hills there's like this town, and like these people are living there that never left when the bombs went off, and it kind of like affected them and stuff. And I don't know, like there's even like a rape scene here that's kind of disturbing in a way.
Oh yeah, in the motorhome.
Yeah. And the makeup effects of these guys, these hillbilly-looking guys, the makeup effects on them are just amazing. They're just so good. So this movie, like, honestly, is intense. It just doesn't stop.
No.
I saw this in the theater, and man, I was with a pretty good crowd, and they were all like enjoying it. So,
Yeah, I remember that being released, and then the next year there was that.
oh, okay, no problem.
Then the next year there was that too, which
I'll tell you this, Kenny. I'll tell you this. I went to go see The Hills Have Eyes 2, right? The sequel to the remake.
Mm-hmm.
I went in the theater, and get this, I was the only one in the theater the whole time. I sat down in the theater the whole time. I was by myself. I'm like, I guess no one wants to see The Hills Have Eyes 2. But
and then when you saw it, you didn't care for it.
I honestly, look. There's the Hills Have Eyes 2 has some good scenes here and there, but I felt like the makeup effects for the hillbilly people or whatever, I thought it wasn't as good. I felt like it was just like a cheaply made. I don't know. I felt like the budget was a lot lower. I'm not even sure what the budget was, but I felt like the movie just didn't go anywhere. Basically,
Right.
a bunch of soldiers have to go in and because all these like scientist people die, and I don't know. It was just all over the place.
And you said in your movies that you hate, you pointed out about that where those people that ripped the baby out of the
yes,
of the ladies.
they kidnap women, they have sex with them, impregnate them, and then when they have the baby, they rip them out, and then they kill the woman. I'm like thinking to myself, like, you do know a woman can reproduce more than one baby, right?
When that killed the baby, also doing that.
No, I mean, if the baby's fine, you just rip the umbilical cord off, or tear it off, or cut it off, and then
that wouldn't be good to do.
But they kill the woman, like they kill her. It's like, well, you wouldn't have to. I don't know. It's weird. It was weird, but anyway, that's So that's number 4 for me.
And then that's my 3.
Wow.
Wait,
wow. This is
Wait, what happened?
In the middle part, that's
every time one of us puts something up, it's like Kenny has the next one. It's like his is like
I have it above.
Yeah.
So are we on 3 now?
We're on top 3 now, yes.
And what was Kenny's 3?
His is
he said The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, The Hills Have Eyes.
Mine is that one, 3.
Wow.
And it's like he said, Aaron Stanford. I thought he was great in it, and it was very different than what we're probably used to him being in 2 of the X-Men films. Whereas in that he is really cocky, whereas in the Hills Have Eyes, he starts off being he believes in himself, but he's kind of timid.
Yeah, he's
smart.
He's sort of like in his own little world in a way.
Yeah, I really liked him, and I liked the actress who plays the mom. She was great in that.
Catherine. Oh damn it! What's her name? Kathleen Quinlan.
Kathleen Quinlan, yeah, she was
Kathleen
great.
Quinlan.
And then I can't remember her name, but the one who's the pregnant one, she was great. The wife of Aaron Stanford's character, she was great. I really liked everyone in it.
Vanessa Shaw from Hocus Pocus.
Yes.
Mm.
Kathleen Quinlan, she was great in Breakdown with Kurt Russell. She's the one that gets taken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's also really good in Event Horizon.
She's been in a lot. Yeah, she's been in a lot of movies. But
I like I loved that. That was another one that I really liked the music in. And it was funny. There was a whole his character walked into one crater, but then when it went out to that wide shot, there was a whole bunch of craters.
Yeah,
he only mentioned one, but I went, no, there's more than one.
The place where they used to let off the bombs. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a
And
crazy
you
movie.
said the effects, like where they, um, it looks like a lot of prosthetics where they put it on one.
Oh, with the guy that's like this. The guy that's like this.
Oh yeah,
But that one with the big,
that's a cool.
He's like
explosion on the back of the head.
boom, boom, boom.
Or then he said, what was it? Him saying "boom," and then Aaron was pointing his gun at him to having him say, "Where's the baby?"
Right.
And then
Yeah.
I love it's a pretty long scene where he's in that town, where it's that fake town with the fake people. It's quite
Right,
long.
yeah.
I really, really like that whole setting.
That's a good setting. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's a good movie. I mean, honestly.
Right. Now,
So-
my 1 and 2 might not be what you would think, but now for some reason, these 1, 2, 3, 4 lined up with some of what you've been saying.
Well, I said we might have some of the same answers, but they're in different places. But
Yeah.
man, they were really close though. Honestly, like
Right.
one off. That's crazy. All right.
Okay, Thomas.
Number 3, Thomas.
My number 3 was, I believe, your number 6, Rob. The Fly.
Okay. Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, what more can you say about the David Cronenberg? It's easily my favorite Cronenberg film. I think it's Cronenberg's masterpiece.
Yeah, that's what he's most noted for, I think.
And
In a way.
I don't know who did the effects in this, but whoever did the makeup effects in this deserve like all the Oscar nominations in the world. I mean, the transformation scene of him is so well done. And Jeff Goldblum just plays a very likable guy. You feel sorry for Seth Brundle. It's a very tragic love story between him and Gina Davis. You also have John Getz as sort of like, I guess, Gina Davis's ex-boyfriend.
Mhm.
The musical score by Howard Shore is amazing.
Yeah.
And I've always been a big fan of Jeff Goldblum. He seems like a very likable guy in real life, and just you always hear, whenever you hear about Jeff Goldblum in real life, they say he's like the nicest guy. Like,
I'm not really a fan of stuff he does today. I feel like he's just Jeff Goldblum today.
Well, but I think that's to make Jeff Goldblum so unique, in my opinion. He's like, whatever he is, Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum, like.
Yeah,
because and Jeff Goldblum has been in so many great things over the years. I mean, but this is easily his best role. And when it comes to Cronenberg, I'm a huge fan of Videodrome and The Dead Zone and History of Violence. Like, I think David Cronenberg is a fantastic horror director.
He is. Yeah, he is.
I think he's like up there with like some of the godfathers of horror directors. He's up there with Carpenter.
He's up there with Carpenter for sure.
He's up there with Romero,
Kubrick,
Romero, Hooper, like great Wes Craven. Like, I think they're like the godfathers of like horror directors.
Yeah, they all have different styles. I mean,
not many probably realize. I know that David Cronenberg and Viggo Mortensen they collaborated in A History of Violence, Eastern Promises, and then there was a recent one, their third collaboration. It was some kind of a sci-fi drama, which I had seen recently, which I thought was really well done.
Mm-hmm. History of Violence is great. Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing other things that are Cronenberg. I mean, I mentioned Videodrome, The Dead.
Well, when it comes to Cronenberg, I still think The Fly is his most. That's his most.
He did Scanners as well, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying The Fly. I'm saying The Fly is probably the most recognizable from him.
Easily. Easily. I mean, one more. I mean, Rob basically said all the things that have already been said about The Fly. I mean, what more can you say? It's timeless classic.
Okay.
We're now
right.
It was Crimes of the Future.
Oh, that's the most recent one. Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't think I didn't seen that one.
Sorry, go on.
Okay, my number 3 is already been said. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Nice.
So I'm not really going to touch on much. Jessica Biel, I'd love to see her again. She's great.
Was that really the only horror film that she ever did? I want to say
well,
yeah.
no, well, Blade Trinity.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
No, it's not really horror.
It's action horror, but
Yeah.
That movie sucks bungholes.
I mean, Triple Triple H. Oh God! How do you know the size of my dick? Oh my God!
Oh yeah, that was Ryan Reynolds when he said
Yeah.
that.
But look, this movie I saw at the theater. I absolutely, it's just so well done. This is how you do a remake, in my opinion. And you keep true to the original while changing some things, keeping it fresh. All kinds of audiences here, and it is a little disturbing in some parts. I think they kind of went overboard in the beginning. In the beginning, they focused more on, I think, gore, and they're more than this movie.
Are you meaning the original?
No, I'm talking about the prequel to this movie.
Oh.
The prequel actually focuses more on like gore, and it has more gore and stuff than this movie does.
Right.
Because you got the guy getting his legs cut off, you got the biker getting cut in half, and all that stuff. But
yeah, I didn't. I think I remember seeing it. I think, but I didn't really care like it much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 3. We already talked about it, so it's very high on my list. So all right,
Number 2.
Now we're on to our top 2, baby.
Top 2, yeah. And my 2, the Amityville Horror.
Oh.
All from 2005.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds.
That one was underrated, and I really liked Ryan Reynolds in it too.
That one did not make that one actually. What's funny? That's like my number 11. It didn't make my top 10. That I do like that one too. I think that one's really good. Actually.
Yeah, I remember in this rant video you did where you Rob rants where I think you were just kind of trying to be funny where you said Amityville Horror where you kind of scoffed it off, but I was like, I know he actually likes that one.
I don't think I liked it when it first came out, but then I started to get a little more connected with it. So
yeah, and this is one of the earliest of I think Chloe Moretz.
Yeah.
One of her.
Yeah, she was just a little girl. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, the Amityville Horror. I'd love.
And it's kind of one of the most serious roles too, with Ryan Reynolds in a way.
Yes.
At that time, it was like you never really see him in a serious role, kind of like that. But
because in 5 years after that, he was in Buried.
Buried was very serious in ways. Like, yeah, it's a good one. There you go. Top 2. All right, number 2.
Yeah, now it's like, and it's these number 2, 2 and 1. I think be different for each of us.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what makes it interesting. So, all right, number two, Thomas.
Yeah, number 2 and number 1 I have on Blu-ray, but they were kind of hard to get out of my shelf. But
no problem.
My number 2 is one that was already mentioned before, but my number 2 is The Blob.
I knew that would be somewhere because I know you like that one too.
The Blob is fantastic. You talk about just a fun 80s monster movie, and you've already touched on Kevin Dillon and Shawnee Smith. You also have the supporting characters. You have Candy Clark. You have who played Shawnee Smith's father? What was his name?
No.
What's his name?
Jeffrey DeMunn.
No,
Or
Jeffrey DeMunn was the sheriff.
Oh wait, yeah, Donovan
Jonathan
Leach,
Leach.
Joe Seneca.
Nah, was it? I think it was Artie something. Keep reading the names.
You're like, I know who you mean, but I forget his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to look it up real quick. Fuck it. Fuck it. Hold on. So
You saying fuck it?
uh,
I don't want to fuck it.
Art LaFleur. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Art LaFleur plays Shawnee Smith's dad. You also have Jeffrey DeMunn. And a very tiny little role, you have Bill Moseley in a tiny role. Chuck
who's
Russell.
the one that actor who is the older man at the very beginning? I liked him for the short scene he had. I liked him a lot.
I also really like. I thought the direction by Chuck Russell was amazing. I always thought Chuck Russell was an underrated director, like Elm Street 3, Eraser. This film, I mean, Chuck Russell, The Mask, a fantastic director.
Yeah, and he doesn't do it as much anymore.
No, he does not. I think the last film he directed was The Scorpion King, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think the last two films he did kind of killed his career a little bit, because Bless the Child was a bomb. And I think
The Scorpion King.
Yeah, The Scorpion King.
I like that movie.
But I felt like The Scorpion King, though, made money.
Yeah, each of those did.
Well, because it promoted The Rock.
Right. And The Rock was pretty new.
Yeah.
The movie screen.
Yeah, that was before he started using his real name.
Think about how much money it would make right now if they released
it. But, I mean, what more can I say? I mean, The Blob is a fun 80s monster film with great special makeup effects, great cast, and just and a really fun finale. You know, it's getting bigger and it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob basically said everything about The Blob. I mean, what more can you say about The Blob?
Right. Smoking!
Easily my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. My number 2 has already been said, and that is The Thing.
Nice.
And it's so high on my list, I just freaking love it. I consider this to be one of John Carpenter's best, and I might even put this over Halloween. I don't know. It's tough, but yeah, it's.
I
so
feel like
good.
I feel like there will be more films that I would put over Halloween. Because I feel like Halloween is always talked about.
I gotta get my list together to actually see, but this is definitely going to be high if I did a John Carpenter list. This would definitely, I guarantee this would be top 5. It would be top 5 for sure.
Maybe Halloween might not be in my top 5 now that I think about it.
I don't know. I just have to get all the movies together. But
like if I had to do like a top 5, like it'd be The Fog, Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing, Vampires, and maybe Prince of Darkness.
Prince of Darkness, so underrated.
Yes,
so underrated. Another good movie with Donald Pleasance, but
and you also have Dennis Dunn from Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. All right. Well,
now we are on number 1.
Number 1. All right, here we go.
You said Kenny said these are like more different ones, so let's get to his first.
Okay, yeah. I'm ready, and I'm trying to guess, but I know I'm wrong. I'm
trying to guess. This is probably one that no one would think of, but House on Haunted Hill.
Oh,
1999, right?
Very good one. Yeah, underrated. Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I remember seeing that at the theater. And
Me too. Yep.
I think because I went to Washington, D.C. with my mom back when I used to do a lot of public speaking. And I saw this at a gallery movie theater. And I really, really like the visual effects on that. And whenever they do show whatever the thing is. Not the thing, but that creature. It was a mixture of practical and some computer generated over it. But they did it as practical as they could. And that
Mm-hmm.
and it was Bridget Wilson
Wilson?
or something.
Oh, Brigitte
Yeah,
Wilson.
Bridget Wilson from Mortal Kombat.
And
yes. And I remembered her primarily from Last Action Hero.
She was also in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
and
Yes.
also, and she was also in Billy Madison.
Ellie Madison, yeah.
Yeah, now she doesn't do as much acting anymore. I know she
Not really.
really does, but not as much. And
I know what you did last summer. Was she Sarah Michelle Gellar's sister?
Yeah, she's the one that gets
Yeah.
killed in the shop.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
And I think there's another one with Mekhi Phifer.
He was in the
House on
sequel.
Haunted Hill.
See, he was in the
I still know what you did last summer.
oh, you talk about if he was in House of Haunted Hill?
Yeah, I think he
Oh no,
was.
that's Tay Diggs.
That's Kate. Yeah.
They look see, they look kind of similar.
I thought Chris Kattan was really funny in House on
Yes.
Yeah, he provided all the comedy. He's pretty
Listen.
good.
And
Listen, the house is pissed.
Yeah.
yes, and he had probably one of the more memorable moments as far as the death, because I remember he was in front of the room, and then that whatever it is, we took him in.
The original's good too. If you haven't seen the
Yeah.
original, definitely check that out because it's a good too.
Yeah, I think I've
And
seen that one too.
The remake has a great group of people because you have Tay Diggs, you have Ali Larter, you have Brigitte Wilson, Chris
Oh,
Kattan,
Ali Larder. Oh,
and you also have
You're right, yeah.
you
I
also
have I
have
have a huge crush on Ali Larder. Always have.
and the other guy, it's Peter Gallagher from Mother's Boys.
Yes, right.
Yes.
And
Okay.
And also,
Jeffrey
don't forget,
Rush.
in the very beginning of the film, you have Jeffrey Combs himself as the doctor.
Isn't
Mhm.
there Jeffrey Rush and the Famke Janssen?
Yeah, and also in the beginning, remember when Jeffrey Rush is trying out the amusement park ride, and he had the cameraman. The cameraman is James Marsters from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good movie. And then, again, no one really talks about that one as
And
much.
I really like Jeffrey Rush's character. His name is Price, which is obviously a note to
Vincent Price. Yeah.
And he has
Yeah, he looks just like him.
and he has the mustache like Vincent Price.
Yeah.
It's a very nice little note to Vincent Price. So I thought that was a nice touch.
I think the doctor imagery is creepy when they show like
especially-
the doctor. Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the whole beginning with Jeffrey Combs? And,
Well, yeah, when they show when the doctor's like the surgeon is like operating on people and like the really quick shots of when the insane asylum was actually open.
right.
Doing that stuff. Like I love that footage that they
A
show.
creepy
and
scene
stuff.
is with Brigitte Wilson when she's holding up her video camera.
Yes.
Yeah, that
And she
is
sees like the chair. She holds the camera up, and you see like the actual doctors there. When she puts the camera down, there's nothing.
Yeah.
there.
And then
Yeah,
they
that's
look
a good
at
one.
her as she's
And they
holding.
kill her.
Yeah.
It's funny now with my 10 to 7, they're all there. No, I didn't see any of you have those. And now 2 and 1.
Well, House of Haunted, it would have definitely been in my top 20. So it definitely would have been top 20. But oh, that's a good one, Kenny. That is a very good number one.
Yeah,
Honestly, I never would have guessed it. I would have guessed
Me
maybe
neither.
something like
and
I
I
would have guessed
really enjoy
maybe
that one too.
I would have guessed maybe like Dawn of the Dead or The Thing or The Fly or
See,
something like that.
yeah. See, I
I was
figured you
I
would.
was actually guessing maybe like I was actually going to think like he was probably going to put one that is probably a loose remake, like The Mummy or
True.
sort of like that sort of thing.
See, I figured you all would be curious of what my 2 1 especially would be, because you notice I didn't have Dawn of the Dead, The Thing, or The Fly, which though I really enjoy all 3 of those.
Well, see, that's what I said. This makes it interesting. You expect people to have those in their list, but if you don't, it's really interesting to me. So, The hell's that noise? I hear a meow. Brip, brip, brip.
And that was another one with Vincent
that's
Price
why
because
that
you
was my
said
mother's
House of
MacBook.
Wax.
Oh, okay.
My mother was. I text her through my MacBook, and that's why you hear a boom.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the?
It is, but it's
Okay.
funny. This is a remake of one with Vincent Price, like House of Wax.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. About the same time period too.
Hmm.
So, all right, Thomas. Here we go. Number 1.
Number 1 has already been mentioned before. The Hills Have
Hills
Eyes.
Have Eyes. Okay.
Hmm.
I thought that was going to be there somewhere, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, The Hills Have Eyes is easily my favorite horror remake of all time.
That's well, very valid because it is.
I mean, I used to really dislike the original Hills Have Eyes, but I've grown to like it just a little bit better. But I just think it's just okay at the end of the day, the original. But I do. But the reason why the film is watchable for me is Michael Berryman, because I really like Michael Berryman. But
yeah, I mean I think that's what most people say.
But
is
the
because of
remake
him.
though takes it to a whole other level.
Yeah.
It's much more gorier, and what I like about the remake too is that they're actually mutants instead of crazy looking people. They're actually
Right, yeah.
they're actually like actual mutants.
Yeah, they were affected by the bombs and all
war,
that.
yeah, like the nuclear explosions.
Radioactive.
And I really like the cast. Like I like Aaron Stanford, Vanessa Shaw. You also have Kathleen Quinlan, Ted Levine. You also have the guy Dan Bird, who was in Cinderella Story as Hilary Duff's best friend. He plays the younger son of the group.
Yeah.
And I really like some of the guys that are some of the mutants. Like, I think Robert Joy as one of the mutants, who I think was in Land of the Dead.
Yeah, did he play the big one, the big guy?
I think that's Michael Riley Burke.
Oh, okay,
no, Michael Riley Smith.
Okay.
As Papa.
Yeah.
As Papa Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the one who's bigger than him?
The one who had the axe.
Oh, Michael Bailey Smith. Michael Riley Smith was Ted Bundy in the 2002 Ted Bundy movie. Michael Bailey Smith is the guy's name. He's Papa Jupiter. And I love the fight scene between Pluto and Doug. And what I like about the third act is it becomes like a revenge Western movie in a way.
Yeah, because he basically after all this stuff that has happened, he himself goes after the baby. Like he goes to save his daughter. It's like courageous at the same time. It's ballsy because of what you're dealing with these people, and you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And he enters this town with not even knowing what the hell's happening. He just, I think he kind of goes with the flow. It's like whatever happens, okay, I guess I'll deal with this, and I guess I'll deal with this when this happens. It's like, I don't know. I kind of felt sad when one of the dogs died.
Yeah.
What happened to that dog?
When his insides are taken out.
Yeah, and then they have the guy up on the hill eating like one of his legs or something. He was like eating something.
Yeah, it was funny when I only saw it recently, and that was the first time I saw it. I was surprised. I only saw one dog. I didn't really see that they had a second.
Yeah, there was Beauty and Beast. I think that's what they named him, Beauty and Beast.
But I only saw one. I didn't see the second until a bit when I heard barking again. I went, "Whoa, wait a minute! I didn't know they had a second dog."
Yeah.
And then
you all right? Are you all right, Thomas?
Like the girl. No, I'm trying to think.
I'm actually laughing inside because we're talking about a dog dying in the movie.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
No.
Oh shit. Oh, why did I?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
I don't like. I don't like.
Oh my god! I was wondering what you were talking. I was like, oh shit! Why did I?
I don't like when the dog dies, so I don't like this movie.
Oh my god!
Because like he got closer and
Even
So
though I like,
I'm-
fear. Even though I like fear, but they cut the dog's fucking head off in the movie.
But then
Yeah.
I like the girl with the one who got affected, and she tried to help save the baby.
Oh, the girl in red.
When
What
they
is her name?
stole the sweater,
Yeah,
and
she
then
tries to help out. Yeah.
then the main one of them, he has a lot of dialogue, which I didn't expect. He was
The guy who looks like
wanted
this.
to
Yeah,
be-
he's like this.
yeah, yeah, but he has a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a damn good
Uh,
one that's a good one for number one. That's you
Yeah.
guys have good number ones, I tell you.
Now, what about your number one, Rob?
Yeah, I figured
Okay.
that two and one would be completely different between all of us.
Okay, my number one has already been mentioned, but honestly, this is a new thing. And I've just grown I'm just so passionate about this movie, and it is the remake Night of the Living Dead. And it's
There
already
you
been
go.
mentioned. And yeah.
I didn't have that one either.
Oh yeah, that's right, you didn't. This movie is not boring. It's not.
Well,
I just think it's so. The zombies being the way they look in this movie, it just gets you more interested in it. Like the effects, Tom Savini, he's like the master of effects, and the fact that he directed this movie and then the effects are so good at the same time, I'm like, wow, like he can do it all. Like this let's get Tom Savini to do something else. I wish he would have done just more things. God, this is so good.
yeah, he directed after that, but not a lot.
I know, Thomas, you said you don't care for the original. I like the original, even though I consider it the weakest of, let's say, the Romero trilogy. Even though Romero did a couple other films, but I'm saying Night, Dawn, and Day, I think Night of the Living Dead is the weakest out of those three.
And
but
is that the only one that is black and white?
it's black and white. But honestly, if I were to put like this one in place of that, I think this one would be, I don't know, it'd be higher on my list. This movie is just so good. And like I said, Patricia Tallman, her character is not a damsel in distress, which I don't mind damsel in distresses. I mean, it's basically your typical scenario in a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that she goes from running to learning how to like shoot a gun, and like once she does it, she's just so good at it, and like she's really a badass, and she's not afraid anymore. And like Tony Todd kind of, I want to say he mentors her in a way.
He pretty much does.
Tony Todd, he's all prepared. He's like, we need to lock this house up. We need to do this. We need to do that. And again, that gave me vibes of Dawn of the Dead during the mall. We have to lock the doors. We have to block the doors. We have to kill all the zombies, get everything cleaned up, this and that. Priorities. I think, yeah, this movie is just so, it's kind of different from the original, but then it's got the same, the same kind of scenarios with it. So if any of you guys have not seen the remake of Night of the Living Dead, the Savini remake, you are missing out. You need to check this out. It is honestly, this is my favorite horror remake of all time. So, yeah.
I think you had said that in other videos of yours. I remember that.
If you would have asked me like 5 years ago, if you would have asked me, it would have been The Thing. This was number 2. This was my second. The number 2. This would have been first. But this movie, I have such a deep appreciation for the film. So
should we probably go through and say what our 10 to 1 are again? Just
let's do a quick recap, because there's actually people coming in here who hasn't maybe seen the whole thing. So you want to just Kenny, just start out, just go from 10 to 1, just like a quick recap.
Okay. 10, Black Christmas. 9, My Bloody Valentine. 8, The Last House on the Left. Yeah. 8.
Okay.
7, The Crazies. 6, The Blob. 5, The Fly. 4, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hmm.
3, The Hills Have Eyes. 2, The Amityville Horror. 1, House on Haunted Hill.
All right. Thomas.
Number 10, Down. Number 9, Friday the 13th. 8, House of Wax. 7, Dawn of the Dead. 6, Night of the Living Dead. 5, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 4, The Thing. 3, The Fly. 2, The Blob. 1, The Hills Have Eyes.
All right. Number 10 for me is King Kong, 1976. Number 9, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Number 8, Dawn of the Dead. 7 is The Blob. 6 is The Fly. 5 is The Ring. Number 4 is Hills Have Eyes. Number 3, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Number 2 is The Thing. And number 1, Night of the Living Dead.
Nice.
All right. Guys, I got to say, that was a really nice outcome with your choices.
Everybody's list was
And
great.
it's funny that 6 of mine, the rest of you, none of you had.
Well, at first I was wondering why you were laughing, Kenny. I thought maybe you were laughing because you didn't like the movie, but then it's like I understood then because you're like, "Oh, I have it. It's my next choice." Yeah.
Yeah. There's like
Okay.
6 of them. I was the only one who had these, and the rest of us didn't.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's basically our top 10 horror remakes of all time, and I'm not really sure what we're gonna do for the next weekend. There's topics floating around. I thought about using, maybe Thomas has some and Kenny has some topics, so we'll actually just kind of. I think we should talk about it maybe later on during the week, and then we'll kind of announce it. But first of all, I want to thank Thomas and Kenny for joining me on this stream, and I want to thank all of you in the comments. Thanks for coming on. We got Word 789. We got Physical Media Collector 87. Also Dale. I know Dale. Sorry, Dale. Sorry,
I was looking in private chat.
Sorry, Dale. You came in and the damn thing shut down.
Oh, yeah.
He froze came in. Yeah.
Rob froze in midair like.
Yeah, I was like,
Right, you were talking, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and then me and Thomas were chatting.
We kept
together.
going and going, then it knocked us off.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I started the stream and it kicked me off, and then here you guys are on live. It's like, what the, like what?
Yeah, and then I suddenly got kicked out because and then I kept trying to click, and it said 404 error.
God, one of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, I will end the stream, and make sure you guys tune in this coming weekend. Like I said, I'll make a video and I'll let you guys know on the community tab what we decide. We're going to be doing this every weekend. If some instances they can't show, like Kenny or Thomas or Alex or anybody can't show up, we're just going to do some other topic. If they didn't come up with it, we'll just do something else. But yeah, this is sort of a fun thing. Like I said, I've been wanting to get back into streaming, get back into this stuff. So I need something to actually look forward to in the weekend because I work all week full time. I know Thomas does, and Kenny's working, and it's just.
I haven't started yet, but I'm hoping to at some point.
Oh, okay. Well,
this week.
At least you got something that you're, keeping you busy.
I'm looking forward to it too. Oh, that's Thomas good. Probably didn't know. I've gotten hired as Best Buy with Geek Squad.
Oh yeah, I did see that on your Facebook post. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been really trying to find something that would fit what I had learned for my IT certificate, and I thought this would be the perfect thing.
Yeah.
And I really like the people there.
Yeah.
The building is nice. I like all the products there seem to all be good quality.
I want to say before I end this too, go subscribe to Horror Fan 34 and Mr. Car Productions. They do, updates, reviews, different kinds of videos. So
I know I've been MIA on my channel for a while just because with my full-time job and
yeah, but you still got a lot of videos on your channel. So
I do have quite a bit. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
a lot of 31 Days of Horror, which I didn't think you would have that many.
Well, the thing about Thomas, he completes his stuff when he does them, not like me where I just give up halfway damn through and be like, oh, I can't.
Right.
So anyway, all right,
This
guys.
was a little longer than what you were thinking.
The what?
This went a little longer than what you were really.
Yeah, well, I said 2 hours max. I said that before. I said usually 2 hours max is fine. So
Right.
it's fine. It ended up pretty,
Yeah.
right time. So all right. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
That's right.
Bye.
All righty.